Right people, remember to subscribe, that way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Also follow me on Twitter. Sometimes YouTube doesn't send notification, this way you'll know when I upload the next video. Who's just reaction. This is Amnesia Expleened by the channel Internet Student Story Mode. Taking a cue from the game, instead of writing a description and then taking the amnesia medicine, I'm going to take the amnesia medicine, leave myself notes with instruction on how to write the description. And he wrote the description like that. And scene, right? That's just perfection if I ever seen one. He just wrote a description by night, not writing a description. So Amnesia, I remember the game. I think I just started I don't like horror games much, but there was a time like, what the fuck, let's try it. So I remember starting this game, then playing a bit, and I'm like, this didn't feel just right to me, and I just stopped it. But I kind of know the premise of it. I remember Conan talking about this. Like amnesia, certain things he talked about, like where you are, what's your name, and certain things that is already established in the game, which is the first things somebody with amnesia, a doctor asks them of, like, what's your name, where you are, do you remember which time it is? If you get all those things right, you don't have amnesia, which was the funny thing. Conan seriously needs to bring back, Clueless Gamer now, because he's really witty when it comes to things like that. And I also remember one of those games, I don't know, where you are a guard or something, a watchman in some mental asylum. Outlast? Yeah, Outlast. That was a fine game, right? I played half and then stopped. So let's watch it. Obviously, Internet Student talking about this is just going to be priceless. Story Mode is a new channel the Internet Student started, which had very few subscribers when I first saw it, because the Internet Student came out saying that this is my channel. Then later on he did, and immediately it has 175,000 subscribers. So yeah. Remember, if you like my reaction to this, don't forget to like and subscribe, so I know if I should react to story mode videos more or not. Comment down if you want me to react to any specific videos. Yeah, let's watch it.
2 takes, I'm less busy. Daniel wakes up in 1893 in the dark halls of a Prussian castle, and he has the amnesia.
Hey, what happened?
All that Daniel can remember is that he's from Mayfair, London, and that he is being hunted by something soon. Daniel finds a note. It's from past Daniel. The note tells him to go deeper into the castle and to find the inner sanctum. There he must murder a man called Alexander. But the note also warns him that there is a living nightmare chasing him. Apparently there is no way to fight back this nightmare, and Daniel must evade it for as long as he possibly can. Oh, keep away. Dodging. I saw him coming and I left. Daniel makes his way through the castle. He finds pages of his own diary strewn across the different rooms. It's Lindbart's diary. Dear diary, my name is Daniel, but you can call me Danny, and here's some exposition in case I ever get into a sort of weird situation where I have to give myself amnesia and I need to remember what's going on. Anyway, here's that exposition. 1. I went on an archaeological expedition to Africa with my BFF, Professor Herbert. Number 2, we were going to do some cool research on an ancient burial chamber. But number 3, when we were digging, I found a big chamber, and then number 4, a stone collapsed and I got trapped there. By number 5, it was dark and scary and I started to suffocate. And I hate that. It's my least favorite thing. And number 6, while I was dying, I had a strange vision. It was of a glowing blue ball of light. I tried to grab it, but then I blacked out. Sad face. But I didn't die. Some people dug me out. Hooray. Thank you for digging me out. But when I woke up, in me hand, it was a weird orby thing.
Oh my god.
So I took it back to my hometown of ye old England. But no matter what I did, it just wouldn't go back together. What can I do? Then, famous geologist Sir William Smith, boy, these people have fake names, visited me. He tried to help me figure it out. Shut up. Is his name really William Smith? I didn't even put that together. Even Will Smith couldn't help me figure it out.
Oh, that's hot.
Anyway, so Will
With his power of positivity, you can do anything you can imagine, anything you wish for. None of that talk worked actually. This is why I hated this game, I think, because it was so basic, right? Premise is so basic. I don't know. I think they made this game thinking, oh, it's a horror game. Why why stress out too much with the plot? But then again, I don't think this was a AAA game, so you can't expect much much out of this, because people only go out with how much money you spend. If you don't spend much money, you can't have resources, you're on a timeline. You can't really blame developers for not making some fantastic game with a low budget.
Smith told me that the glass can change shape over time. Interesting. But then, a turn of events. Remember Professor Herbert and all his men back in Africa? Well, they went missing. Except for one guy who was very injured, and he kept talking about how the expedition was being hunted. I was sent some of Herbert's journals, and I started reading through them. It turns out that Herbert found the orb. Oh my god. So, Daniel makes his way into the castle, and there are monsters, but he evades them. But then he starts having flashback visions of the castle. He sees what Alexander looks like. having flash. So, Daniel makes his way into the castle, and there are monsters, but he evades them. But then he
does he speed up here?
starts
Oh no,
having flashback visions.
Oh, he threw the chair while coming. I thought he just extremely fast, but he just started chasing. That kind of thing is like screamers, basically. Gives me heart attack.
Of the castle. He sees what Alexander looks like. And also look at all the bad, terrible stuff that Alexander did in the past. Inhumane experiments on animals to try and take their vitae. Of course, their precious life goo. And he's a murderer. Look at this.
When you have decided that the victim shall die, you can smash their limbs with a hammer, making them fold in between the frame.
But they'll die. Too quickly, I mean.
Daniel continues to make his way through the castle. He finds an elevator in a Prussian castle. Okay, now Daniel is in the underground prison area, which every castle has, and in there he finds diary entries. Dear diary, it's me, D-Dog again, and I'm having a lot of nightmares. Anyway, it turns out that these nightmares helped me to find the orb thing. Then, when I went down to Herbert's University to look for some answers, I met Professor Taylor, a man who also has a very innocuous name. Everyone has a very ordinary name. He told me that the orb...
I like to imagine, he walks around terrified, horror, those things are chasing. As soon as he sits down, he just with a smile, that music plays, he just starts writing. Like a 14-year schoolgirl or something.
Had some inspiration for the royal symbology. I don't know, I wasn't really listening. But the orbs are used by priests or something. Also, it turns out that Will Smith died 2 weeks ago after meeting me. He will forever be remembered for his role in Wild Wild West. Daniel runs around for a bit and then has more flashbacks. Daniel went to see a doctor about the nightmares, but Dr. Tate couldn't diagnose. I have no idea what you have. You have bad brain. I diagnose you with stink brain. Days after his appointment, Dr. Tate and Professor Taylor both died, and Daniel is beginning to suspect it's the chemtrails. And Daniel, fearing that he's going to be the next to die, begins cold calling everyone in Herbert's address book. He comes across a contact for a baron in Prussia who said that he could protect him from a mysterious unknown force. Thanks very much, just what I need. I've just been evading it so far. The letter was from Alexander. So, Daniel shows up for the booty call, and he starts helping him with a bunch of stuff that would keep the nightmares away. So it turns out that the living nightmare, the shadow, which is like a guardian to this orb, is coming for Daniel. He's gonna get him, and no amount of evasion will stop him. During this...
I love that thing.
is coming for Daniel. He's gonna get him, and no amount of evasion will stop him. During this time, Daniel allowed Alexander to touch the orb and use it to attempt rituals that could somehow banish the shadow. And then Alex gives Dan a tour of the castle, which is when Dan finds out that it doubles as a prison. Daniel closes in on the inner sanctum. He bumps into an old dude chained to the wall.
Hello there.
His name is Agrippa. He looks at the wall. Agrippa is a friend of Alexander's. Or at least they were friends until this happened. And Agrippa helped Alexander to gain knowledge of the orb's power.
It's Alexander's friend and his name is the Gripper. I'm assuming that Alexander gave him the name the Gripper, but why though? I don't want to know.
Hours, many years ago. His consciousness is now trapped in a lifeless form, so that Alexander can use him as a source of information when he pleases. What? Agrippa asks Daniel to help set him free by making a special concoction so he can stop Alexander from using the orbs. This is like the fucking Dragon Balls from Dragon Ball Z. Don't put all 5 of them together, you get a wish. Anyway, Daniel goes on to find the ingredients to create the concoction, but while he's there, he stumbles across torture rooms full of body parts. Oh my god. More flashback time. Alex tells Daniel all about the different torture methods we use to extract vitae from people.
Was that a blood mist, right? How the fuck, unless you burn somebody just right way and just, I don't know, how does a blood becomes a mist object?
Told him that this would fix all of his problems. It fixes everything. It's like essential oils. But Daniel doesn't run. He goes along with what Alexander says, and he continues to torture and gruesomely kill people. Oh my god. Which is why he gave himself the amnesia, because he felt guilty about the whole thing, because he was a serial killer in that. Get it? Get it?
Calm down a bit.
Anyway, Daniel tries
Protagonist is an asshole. Oh, I don't like games like that. I don't like where, you put your soul into the game, your hard-earned time, which you could have done something else. You play the game and realize, oh, look at the story says that we are asshole or something like that, like how it happened in Far Cry 5. The game was fucking priceless. I love the mechanics. I love everything about the game, how it looked, the new Ubisoft engine, fucking everything, right? And then the story says that everything you didn't mean for shit because father bombed everything. And there you go. I hated that ending. Because of that ending, that is one of the worst game of all time. Otherwise, the game was priceless.
fix what he has done, but he can't. And he realizes that Alex had been manipulating them the whole time so that he could get the orb for himself. I don't know what it does. It tastes good. Blueberry. Daniel swears to kill Alexander. I'll kill you for this, he says, in a somewhat serious tone. Well, it's going to be a lot more difficult if you give yourself amnesia. Why give yourself instructions to kill some dude after you give yourself amnesia? Why not just kill him and then get amnesia? Oh, you idiot. Anyway, Daniel continues to look for the ingredients for Agrippa. I will help you, Agrippa. I get Agrippa on the problem. He has to fight off a bunch of monsters and stuff, and then he hears Alexander speaking to him through AirPods.
You really drink from the amnesia mixture? It does explain so much of your behavior. You never did finish what you set out to do.
He's just taunting him. Thank you, Daniel, for keeping the Shadow Mans away from me. Why don't you just go wait in a cell and let the shadow consume you? And, by the way, the player can actually choose to do this and just wait in the cell, but it's not the way the story goes, so let's move on. Daniel escapes from the shadow and he goes back to Agrippa. He gives him the potion. Glug, 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 glug. Delicious. What is this, Mountain Dew Berry Blast? Now we jump into the portal. Finally, we have now arrived at the inner sanctum. Alexander is waiting on a little stage, and he has
Censored.
an orb. Oh my god. There's a bunch of pillars harnessing the blue energy, completing the ritual. Alex says he's going home once again, now that I have all the orbs and such. Not so fast, Alexander. You forgot about my superpower. Knocking down pillars.
I want Internet Historian to narrate every single story of the game, not just game but movies and TV shows too. I guess you already do that with other channels, somewhat.
Starts to disintegrate. No, you've done something.
How dare you?
Daniel makes it out of the chamber. It looks like the shadow is gone too. Oh my god. And then that's just how the story ends. Daniel leaves the castle, guilt-free. He's got a totally clean conscience, even though he killed those kids.
Yeah. He tortured people, but yeah, it's everyday thing. Please subscribe to a small YouTuber achieve dream. Okay, yeah, small YouTuber. See, the thing with the Internet Historian is his voice is distinctive. You can, even if you faintly hear it, you'll know that it's Internet Historian. So as soon as people came across this channel, they would know this is Internet Historian channel. I'm surprised how people didn't just walk around screaming, "Hey, Internet Historian has another channel," and you know this channel didn't become famous like that. That is the reason why I never reacted to this when I knew it, because I didn't want to be the one who outs the channel somewhat, right? So yeah. Alright people, that was Amnesia Explained, a shitty story. I wouldn't have liked it. I'm glad I stopped playing it. I don't know if the game was good or not, I don't know. But yeah, story, I didn't like that. Yeah, that is Bioshock Explained 2. I really have to react to that one because I remember playing somewhat of Bioshock, but it was a linear game where you just shoot and there's some story plays. I don't like games like that, but apparently Bioshock is a massive successful game. Maybe there's more to it. I don't know. Maybe I have to play more to understand that. That's why I think I'm gonna watch story mode video about that before I guess resume playing it, which I probably won't because I don't have much time. But yeah. Right people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the reaction, there's a link in the description, check out the cards for place, and yeah, I'll see you next time.